Hello everyone, and before starting the video, please subscribe the channel and like the video if you find it useful. And today we'll be talking about the entire experience with Amulya, and she has cracked the company called Nielsen. So we'll be discussing all the things, all the process, and along with her tips and suggestions for you all. So we'll start the video with a brief introduction. So Amulya, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi Sankalp and hi everyone over there. Firstly, Sankalp, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share my experience. So coming to my introduction, so this is Amulya, guys. I'm from Hyderabad. So I have a CGPA of 8.74, and I'm currently pursuing my BTech final year from Vellore Institute of Technology.
Okay. And if we talk about the college life, so how was your college life from the first year to this current year? And what all things you'll suggest for the juniors that they can do in their respective years?
Okay, so college life completely. Coming from Hyderabad, so it's basically a orthodox place. Yeah. So after coming to VIT, it was like a very free place for me. So yeah, firstly, I think for my first semester, I completely enjoyed. Then meeting different seniors, I came to know that yeah, we have good opportunities being in VIT. So it's our responsibility to get a good placement and all this stuff. So yeah, from then I started working. So initially, I used to code in C++ and then a bit on Python. But later I had a gap due to other circumstances. So then later again I shifted to Java. So yeah, apart from this, I have done two internships. One after my first year and the other one after second year. So first, initially I have done internship in MSR Cosmos from Hyderabad. So what I have done in this internship was how the other OS, how different OS works. So basically, I distinguished how the performance is based in Linux in and Windows. So coming to my second internship, it was from Sign Private Limited. It's an MNC. So the project I was involved in this internship was from machine learning. So the main part which I was given was to collect the data and pre-process it. So I think I have done a good job from that internship because I had learned so much because and even have completed an course from that particular internship. So yeah, so my internship experience was really like really good because it was completely different from my academics because what you learn is completely different from what you do in your industry. So yeah, this comes to my internships and research has also always been inspiring. It was inspiring me. So I have done two research in the field of human computer interaction and other in the blockchain. Yeah.
Okay. So that was all about her, and including all the internships and projects and like experiences that she had till now. And now we'll move with the process, that is selection process. So if we talk about the total number of applicants that had applied for this company and the total number of selections that this made, so can you share some numbers on this?
Okay. So initially, Nielsen came to VIT on the first week of August. So all of us who were having a CGPA above 7.5 were asked to apply, and there were certain branches in which I belong to CSE, so I was allowed to apply. So I think around 2,000, 1,500 people applied for this particular company. And upon your CGPA and the company requirements, we got shortlisted for about 500 people. So I think it was around 8.7 or 8.6 above people got shortlisted from the branches CSE, IT, and computer science with information security. So after this 500 people were allowed to write the online test. So after the online test, 55 people got shortlisted who have cleared that particular round. And then out of 55, the 55 people had interviews in different sections like 2 rounds, 3 rounds, and different. So I myself had 2 rounds. So after this, finally three of us got selected for the for the placement.
Okay. So that is great. Like people were selected out of more than 1,500, and generally they shortlist based on the CGPA also. So if I talk about the
Yeah.
importance of CGPA in the entire selection process, like from the filtering to the interview, so how important it is in any process?
Okay, so this is really an interesting question because everyone believe that CGPA is only criteria or something just like that. Even I was the one who used to believe like that because having a normal CGPA and even if you're equally talented as the others, you get placed. This is what actually everyone think. But when you're in a college like VIT, we had lots and lots of people sitting for interviews. It's not only the number of placements we get, the opportunities we get. There are also lots of people who are sitting for the interviews. For this, CGPA is really a mandatory thing because always they shortlist only the top 100 people or 200 people to sit for the online round. So it's like you're cutting your opportunity over there. So I always suggest you to have the greater CGPA. So earlier it used to be 8.5 and all, but right now even 9 is not equally sufficient for that. So I always tell that CGPA played a very important role in my interviews also because before Nielsen, there were 20 companies and only three of the companies were that I sat for the online rounds. So this itself tells that how CGPA is really important.
Okay. And she has clearly mentioned the number of companies, so you can get an idea that how important CGPA is in the entire process. And if we talk now about the coding round, so how many questions were there? What were the pattern for that? And the total timing for that first round and the difficulty of questions that were there.
Yeah, okay. So my first round was the online round. So we were having five different questions, out of which three were the coding questions, and two were the first question was the introduction. You have to record your video and give your introduction, your technical skills, and what all you can introduce. You were given an opportunity to record it for 1 minute in the same portal itself. So we were since it was a virtual interview, we had the whole process from Nielsen Hire Pro. It was a portal for themselves. So for the second yeah for the then we had three coding questions, and after that we had the fifth question called how did you solve each and every problem. So yeah, coming to the coding questions, so it was basically different for different people. So I myself got three different coding questions. One is three are all on graphs. So first question was related to the topological sort. It's not exactly the same implementation of topological sort, but it was an application of topological sort. So the second question was detecting a cycle in the graph, and it was some application on that. I exactly don't remember the question, but it was something like application of detecting a cycle in an undirected graph. So coming to the third question. Third question was it was a direct implementation of uh, the shortest path algorithm. So I implemented the Digitra shortest path algorithm. So in this, the whole three questions were given for about 60 minutes. But the thing is, we were not given the whole 60 minutes for three questions. First question was for 20 minutes, and second question was for 20 minutes, and the other question was also for 20 minutes. So it was time for each particular question. And I think all the three questions which I got was a bit difficult, and I myself passed all the test cases. So I was one among the 55 people who got shortlisted. So, and the fifth question we had was how did you solve each and every question? So we need to record what was the algorithm or what was the approach we have used for to solve that particular problem. So it was also a video recorded session. So we got 5 minutes to record this, and so I recorded my answer and then I gave it. And after this, I think it is like I think all the people who solved these three questions were only eligible because it was only 55 out of 500 people. So yes. So
Okay.
that was my online coding round.
Okay. So now we move with the interviews. So like how many interviews you had and what all topics they had been focusing on.
Okay, coming to my interview process, after this online round, the interviews were held in two different rounds. The first one was purely technical, and the second one was technical plus manager plus HR. Due to time constraint, they had to take it in the whole thing. So yeah, it was like that. So coming to my first round, the first round was divided into four different sections. So in this four different sections, the first one was the basic introduction plus behavioral round. So, and the second was the live coding question. So I was given some questions to solve on the live, like the one who's proctoring me, and I will be solving. So third one was on the technical skills which we had, and the fourth one is puzzles. So coming to introduction, I was initially asked to introduce myself, my interest, and all this. And behavioral question. In that, we had a different subsection called behavioral questions. So in this, I was given some situations. How would I deal with it? So it depends on how you work. This actually working in different organizations helped me to answer these questions. So coming to the second subsection, it was live coding question, a live coding section. So in this, I was given three coding questions. So they were basic questions, but I was tested on how the approach I give. So in this, the first question was based on arrays. So I don't exactly remember the question because it was not a particular single question I was asked. It was the implementation one by one which I was asked. So and the other question was related to the linked list. So the basic, the raw implementation of the linked list, and then slowly they were asking the applications like how to delete a node and all this stuff in a detailed manner. So after this, the third one was based on the sorting algorithm. So I was asked to give the best sorting algorithm to sort it. So I had, since I had enough time to explain that, I gave the sorting algorithm as well as the best time. So that is a quick solve. So after this, so in this, I was expected to solve the proper. I was expected to solve in a proper way because I had to give the input and output according to the interviewer. So I think you have to like give a proper thing, and then even not with a single syntax mistake. So then we coming to the third subsection, it was a technical thing. It was about the technical skills which we had. So I was tested on OOPS concept. So yeah, so they asked me which language I was really good at or which was comfortable for me. So since I use Java, I told Java, so it was comfortable with me. So I was asked about the OOPS concepts and file handling and then exception handling. And then since I was expertise in web development, I was asked some questions about HTTP, HTTPS, and all these. And then after this, there were two puzzles given to me. So coming to the puzzles, I didn't solve two of the puzzles. I just solved the one puzzle, and the second puzzle I just gave my approach because it was a bit difficult. I just gave my approach how to solve it, and the main thing what interviewer touches is, the touches your skills is only to know how is your approach, because no one expects you to solve the complete problem. How are you going to do it? They just see how are you going to approach a problem. That is the main thing which they are going to check. So it was my first round. So after this first round, the coming to the second round. So I think I waited around 5 hours. So after 5 hours, I got a call from my placement cell that you have a second round of interview. So coming to my second round, it was from one of the like director board of Nielsen from the Chennai hub. So I didn't knew it first. So again, it started with a basic introduction, and then some kind of behavioral question. So he was just testing how adaptable I was or how comfortable I was, even though it is like they pull you off so much. They pull you off so much. So they just test how patient you are and how can you handle these kind of situations. So that is how I was checked. So one interesting question, which was like, I was one of the members, like out of 55, I was one of the members who were having 8 CGPA, that is in 8 points. Everyone was having 9 CGPA. So I was pulled out there that you don't have this CGPA. How would you work on it? Like, what is the reason for it? Yeah, so I gave a sufficient answer that could satisfy the interviewer. So that is how you answer, and that is how you impress them. So that is how you hold your all your confidence levels. Otherwise, when you get enervated, you won't be able to give the rest of your interview. So that is my suggestion. You have to just stay confident whole long the interview. And next, so I was basically tested on the other technical skills. How would I adapt to the other? I was asked how what are the technical skills I know, and how would I adapt to the new technical skills, and what am I looking forward. So after this, again, I was asked some coding questions. So they were based on dynamic programming. So in that, I was not completely asked to code as in the live session, but it was the approach. Again, the approach was tested, or the algorithm which I'm going to use, or what is it, like the logic behind it. So after this, the interviewer was really interested in me. So he was asking more. He was asking more and more questions to know more about me. So after this, around after 2 hours, I think I got a mail from the company and as well as the mail from VIT that I got selected, and I was one among the three.
Okay. So that was a detailed process, like the entire process for interviews. and she has mentioned many things that is very important for you if you are also preparing. Now, in this time, like most of the interviews are done virtually and the entire process is done virtually. So, what are some of the pros and cons that you have felt for virtual interviews, and what all points we should keep in mind when we are giving or when we are attending any interviews virtually?
Okay, since we never expected that pandemic like this is going to change everything, because all of us since first year might have been thinking, "Ki, okay, placements are going to be direct face to face. So let us prepare body language and all these." So coming to the virtual interviews, it's like there is one pro. It is very silly is that there is no dress code to sit in. Like you have a dress code, but not completely like you need to wear from top to bottom shoe and pant and all these. So yeah, that is one pro. And apart from that, a bit like the other thing is the tension which you have or the levels you might have. So when you are around lots of people, you might actually be a bit better. But when you're alone in the house, you never know the situation. How is it around? So that is always going to stress you more, and you are in the house, so it is a bit stressful for you. But and the other point is when you're in like the face-to-face interviews, you have a chance to just give the algorithm or approach. There is no need to actually test for the each test case, okay? But if there is any syntax error, but here you need to do that. So I think yeah, since world is changing, everything is changing, we need to adapt for each and everything, like each and every phase of the life which we go through. So yeah, virtual interviews were really good, because I never there is no need, like the thing is I never had a face to face interview particularly for my placement, so I couldn't compare it. But I think it's kind of better because doing everything from home, the selection part, and yeah, and even the placement cell of VIT and the Nielsen, like for my not only my company, there are many companies who are doing it completely online. So it's actually a great thing for them, and I really appreciate both the placement self of VIT and the company as well. It's really a good job because we generally sit here and do be on our parts, and they are doing everything, and it's really great job. Yeah.
Okay, so that was regarding the virtual interviews, and there are all many pros and cons for that. So all of these are discussed. And now if we move with the strategies, so as this is a super rim company and she has cracked, so you should follow or try to follow all the things that she'll be mentioning. So if we talk first about the strategies, so what all strategies you had followed for your preparation?
So I wouldn't say it as a particular strategy or something. It is just a way which I tried it on and that. So there will be different ways with different people. So one thing is first you have to be thorough with the basics. So mainly which we are tested on super dream things are like super dream placements are the data structures and algorithms, because and the problem solving skills. Because why do the companies test on problem solving skills when you're going to do something other work? Like you're going to do some other work in cloud or web development or machine learning, but why do they check again this data structures and algorithm? So this is a question which is actually left for lots of people. But how can the interviewer actually shortlist you from that? So this is a question from interviewer side. So the only thing where you get differentiated from the others is based upon your problem solving skills, how quick you are, how accurate you are, and all these. So, coming to the problem solving skills, you need for this good problem solving skills, you need to have practice a lot. Like you need to practice a lot and lot. So practice is the one thing which I did for long, and that actually works in a long term. And I would suggest everyone to do practice and different kinds of problems, and then you solve it, you learn, and you actually do it on your own again. So coming to data structures and algorithms, I used Geeks for Geeks website, which is a common technical portal for everyone. So it's really good. Not just like everyone uses, but I really found it very helpful because it actually has the step-by-step process, like how do you approach a problem and what are the steps you do. So it was really helpful for me. So after practicing concepts from it, I used LeetCode to solve my problems. LeetCode is an amazing platform for who are planning to prepare for the placements. It has You can actually have a premium subscription because premium has different tax, which is helpful for like if you're preparing for Amazon, it has Amazon tax. If you're preparing for PayPal, you're having PayPal tax. So it was really helpful, and I would suggest anyone to have a LeetCode platform to practice. Not only the premium subscription, but also the normal one, which has lots of questions, which will really help you a lot. like it has a different, like it has lots of test cases, and it checks in different constraints, so it will actually help you to think in different way for different like constraints. So I think, yeah, that is one thing which I practice. And the other one is, apart from the technical skills which you also should be thorough with your basic computer science concepts, like database, DBMS, database management systems, the SQL queries, the OOPS concepts, the operating system concepts, and everything, because it's all what you learn your first year, second year, and when you come into your fourth year you might forget them. So brushing up all those skills will help you a lot. I used to make very good notes, so I had this class notes which I used to refer a lot. But apart from this, you are not having the this class notes. I would also suggest you to use this last minute notes from Geeks for Geeks, which also had very good frequently asked questions. So in this frequently asked questions, you can actually use the topic, and you can again refer it from the Geeks for Geeks the portal itself. So it was actually really good, because you actually, in the short period of time, you get to know what to learn and what not to, because when time is also an important part which you have to consider. And apart from this, after practicing all these, the other thing I would suggest is, when a company comes, you better read more about the company, get to know what kind of questions they are asking, talk to your seniors, because seniors play an important role. Because rather than reading it somewhere from internet, Quora, and all these, people suggesting you is the most like great influencing thing which actually influences you. So yeah, talk to people, get to know what is happening, and then yeah, that will actually help each and everyone a lot. So apart from this, there are lots of soft skills which will actually help you to ace the interviews, because it's not only technical skills. Because I have lots of friends who have like good coding skills and everything, but they're unable to crack a placement because of lack of these skills. It is like how you show yourself, how you present yourself. That is most. You have to be more confident, even though you're wrong. You should be more and more confident. That is the one thing which will actually help you out to ace an interview. And that is what everyone commits a mistake. So mistake is a common thing. Even you at the age of 50, you commit a mistake. So one thing is, have confidence. How much ever you're wrong, be confident and answer in that way, such that okay, the opposite person gets in a mind that okay, I think I'm wrong. So that is the most important thing which you have to uh, gain, that confidence.
Okay. So that was regarding the strategies, and she has already mentioned many important strategies. So you can obviously follow those, and that will be very helpful for your selections also. Now, if I talk about the language for coding, so what language you chose, and how much important it is for any language, or how the language affects the entire process.
Okay, so coming to my placement, I have chosen Java as my like favorite language, because I have practiced a lot, like for an year in Java, so it was more comfortable for me. Because like for the OOPS, we generally use C++ and Java. So I particularly use Java because I had a like long run in hand practice with that. So coming to prescribed by the company don't check which language you are using. They generally check how efficient you are in a particular language which you know. So in every company, like hearing talking to my seniors and my friends, no one like were preferable with one particular language, either C or C++ or Java. They generally ask which language are you comfortable with and which language do you know. So they generally check how good are you at that particular language. They don't check are you good at C or are you good at C++. So it's better you choose one language, practice it on more, and then go ahead.
Okay. Now, if we talk about peer coding or group studies that we can do in colleges, so what are some of the pros and cons of this, and what all things we should be focusing on while doing any peer coding or group studies?
Okay, peer coding is one thing like which you'll really enjoy. Because we always think, yeah, let's all hang out with friends and all, right? So apart from this, like peer coding helps you a lot because it helps you to enjoy with your friends, because you don't go and sit study with your friends, because coding is something which you actually enjoy doing it, because it's problem solving. It's just like you're playing some puzzle or something like that. So just take a problem, discuss with your friends. In the same way, you're gaining your energy as well as you're spending time with your friends, you're hanging out. It's so good that peer coding is one amazing thing which I have discovered. So we are a group of five friends. So five of us got placed anyways. So five of us used to practice it. Like we started practicing it since December, like last year December. So all of us used to take set of questions, and then we used to have a Google sheet where we used to solve the questions. But after a week, we used to set a time, and then after a week, we used to check how did I solve and how did the other person solve. Because like a problem can be solved in n number of ways. For example, let us take any problem. So as in you reach one particular route, it's like you have n number of routes. So that's how a problem can also be solved. So I might solve in a time complexity of O of n square, but the other one can solve in time complexity of O of n. So when you discuss after your coding, like since we used to discuss, we used to get lots of different solutions how can we use, because in interviews they check that only. When you give a solution to your interviewer, he asks, okay, you solved in using an array. Why can't you solve it using a linked list, or why can't you use it solving a map or heap or something like that? So when you solve with different people, you get to know the ideas of different people. It's again something like you're working in a company or something. Like you get to know the ideas of the other people. You get an engagement. You get a social plays and everything. So I think peer coding is really helpful, and I don't think there is any disadvantage of it until unless you go and spoil out it. But apart from that, peer coding is really helpful.
Okay. Okay, so now if we talk about the clubs and chapters that most of the colleges have, so like, is it important to join any club or chapter, or what all things we should be having, like we should keep in mind if we are joining any club or chapter?
Okay, clubs and chapters. So I was a part of CodeChef VIT. So it's a technical chapter, and it's related. It is related to coding. So competitive coding. We generally take sessions on competitive coding every week, and apart from that, we conduct hackathons and events and all these. So initially, coming to VIT, I was a very introvert. So I never used to speak out or this kind of, like I used to have an inferior feeling and all those things. So when I joined a CodeChef, I got to meet lots of people who were really amazing, who used to do amazing projects. I got to know, okay, they used to. Then only I got to know, okay, we used to have like we have these projects. We have to do these. We have to do these and all. So being a part of CodeChef is really one amazing thing, which I think I did being in VIT, because it showed me a big path. Like I think I don't know how to describe my journey in Coach of VIT, because it was that amazing that I can't describe it in one go. But what I would say to others is it depends on you. How do you take it? Okay. So there are actually benefits and there are actually negatives also being in a clubs and chapters, because generally wherever you go, politics are the main issue. So it's up to you. So how do you handle those issues? So everywhere you go, there will be politics. So it's like, how do you handle them in a good way? Here you get to learn as well as you get to manage you balance yourself. So until unless you are really good in balancing all those, and until unless you learn, being in a part of club and chapter is not at all a bad thing. Instead, you learn, because I myself, I would definitely give 80% or 70% of my placement success to coaches, because I've learned so many things as in a person, as well as technically, like professionally, as well as personally. Because being professionally, I met amazing seniors who were really placed in super dream companies, who used to guide me a lot, and apart from that, who used to motivate me a lot. So because sitting in placements, it's like lots of stress. You give an interview, you don't get selected, it's like you get depressed a lot and lot. But I had amazing seniors who were really supporting, who used to tell ki, yeah, you can do it, you need that kind of support. Yeah, I do understand that you get it from parents and your friends, but one who is seeing you from so long and giving you, apart from like in the same age group, when they give you this kind of motivation, which is really important, I think, yeah, it actually played an important role for me. So but yeah, I get, at the end, it depends on you how you take it and how you manage your own thing. But you have to have this saturation point, like when you think that okay, the role of club and chapter is going to dominate your academics and all. I don't think that time club is going to play an important role. It's again how you balance between your professional life, I mean professional, the academics, as well as the clubs and chapters. So yeah.
Okay. So it is like basically your perspective that depends, that decides how important it will be for your club, for joining your clubs and chapters. So now if
Yeah.
we talk about the college journey, or like what all things we can do in the colleges that will be more productive and that will be helping us in the placements or internship selection.
Okay, so one thing I would tell is ki, from now after getting placed, what I would tell is like ki, just be yourself, and then maintain a good CGPA. And I'm not just telling you go sit and study all the time, but just get involved in each and everything what is going in the college, because college is a place where you learn, like you learn a lot. And after all these, like when you get into industry or your masters, you don't get this opportunity, this 4 years, what you learn, because enjoyment is a part of learning. Yeah, you have to enjoy. I do tell that you have to enjoy, but learning is a key process. It actually learning you have enjoyments, you have hurdles, you have ups and downs, everything. So you like handling all these is only the main thing. So apart from this, what I would tell is keep have good connections. Having good connections helps you a lot and lot, because not only now, not only right now, in a long term, it helps you a lot. It gives you good people for your like hanging out professionally, everything, anyway. So I think maintaining good contacts is one important thing which you have to do in your college, and getting involved in each and every thing, like not only getting into clubs and chapters, but you have different other activities which going around, like any other coding competitions or workshops. It's better. Learning is something like you do. What I always suggest everything is learning doesn't have it like full stop. It's like you have to learn. Even though you get a placement, work. Learning is that thing. So never have a stop or like just thing. You can have a break, like just the comma, but not a full stop for it. So learning is that thing which I would tell each and everyone to do.
Okay. So now I will talk about the resumes or the projects and work experience that we have in the resume. So like how
Yeah.
much important it is and how we can improve this.
Okay, resume is one like the what do you say heart of the interview process, because it tells about you in a very brief way. So you have so basically it depends on what kind of projects you give, because the interviewer doesn't know anything about you, and when he sees your resume, he just feel like to ask about what you have mentioned in it. So what I would suggest is make sure you put 100% like what you know in the resume, because even though they can ask anything from out of which you keep in the resume. So yeah, so just put the projects which you have done and which you have completely idea on it. So that is coming to the projects. And coming to the work experience, you can include your internship experiences. You can put your role of clubs and chapters, whatever you are. Like if you feel that it's a kind of experience and you can explain for it, yeah, you can put anything in the resume until unless you can explain everything for it. And don't make your resume more overcrowded. Just make it simple, like cool. Like it should be very short. Like the interviewer should get to know that, yeah, okay, this guy know, this girl or guys know everything, like in what is mentioned in the resume. So yeah, you can include your hobbies and all these things.
Okay. And okay, so that was like most of the discussion is over. And now if we talk about any final tips for the juniors who will be sitting for placements in the future. So what all will be sharing to them?
Okay, so firstly, I would tell ki be thorough with the basics, that is data structures, algorithms, and one particular preferred language, and then your the other core CSE subjects like database management systems, OS, and then OOPS concepts. These are the basic things like which you have to be thorough. And apart from this, one most thing is just be cool. Like it is the main thing, and just be confident. And last but not the least, be what you are. Be confident, believe in your preparation, and just wait for the day, because it's not like you gave your interview and you have to get it. It depends on the other view also. The interviewer should like we might be always it is not like we should be always right or we might be always right. It's on the other point of view. He like just think from their shoe. So it just like wait for your day. Apart from this, I would just say all the best for your preparation.
Okay, so that was like the entire discussion, and I hope you have liked the video. And it was for the company Nielsen. It is a Supreme company, and I hope that this video will give you some insights for your preparation also. And now you can like the video, and if you have not yet subscribed, you can subscribe the channel now. And we'll meet in another video. So till then, goodbye.